What if I told you that the reason you're waking up with weak legs isn't your age? That overnight, while you're sleeping, your body could actually start reversing years of leg weakness. No gym, no pills, just one simple food at the exact right time. Sounds crazy, right? But it's not. It's backed by real science and real results. One food, one moment, and in just 12 hours your legs could feel stronger, more stable, and more alive than they have in years. In today's video on Healthy Aging Life, we're diving deep into this little-known nighttime trick that's helping thousands of seniors feel younger, walk steadier, and get their independence back, starting tonight. So don't go anywhere. You're going to want to hear every word of this, especially if you've been feeling more off balance lately. You find yourself using your arms to stand up from a chair, or you've quietly asked yourself, am I getting weaker? Stick around, because what you're about to learn could change the way you think about aging forever. Before we jump in, I want to hear from you. What's the very first thing you feel when you get out of bed in the morning? Stiff knees? Wobbly legs? Nothing at all? Drop your answer in the comments, and while you're there, use the phrase, I'm ready to get stronger, so I know you watched from the start. That's our secret code, just between us. And hey, if you want more real science, real results, and real strategies to stay strong after 60, hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to Healthy Aging Life right now. This isn't a quick fix. It's the start of something real, and it starts here. Let's dive in. Let's get one thing straight right out the gate. Your muscles aren't vanishing. They're not melting away like butter in a frying pan. What's actually happening is a quiet disconnection between your nervous system and your muscles. That's the real villain of this story. And no, it's not about age. It's about signal loss. Think of your muscles like a concert hall full of musicians. They've all got their instruments, ready to play. But guess what? The conductor, your brain, stops waving the baton. The band doesn't disappear. They're just waiting for the cue. That's you, right now, with legs that feel slower, weaker, a little more wobbly in the morning. You're not broken. You're just not getting the signal. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Starting as early as your 40s, yes, that early, your motor neurons start to shrink and fray. These are the long wires that run from your spinal cord to your muscles. They're the cables that keep the signal flowing. And once those cables start to wear out, the connection fizzles. It's like trying to watch Netflix on dial-up internet. Not happening. But your muscles, they're still there. They've just stopped listening because the phone line went dead. Let me give you a real-world example. Remember President George H.W. Bush? Toward the end of his life, he used a wheelchair. Not because he didn't want to walk, but because post-stroke, the nerve signals to his legs weakened. The muscles were still there, but without the brain-to-leg connection, they couldn't activate properly. Now multiply that disconnection slowly over time, without any stroke. That's what aging does if we don't intervene. Here's the kicker: scientists at the University of Calgary ran a study on seniors who showed clear signs of muscle weakness. But when they scanned their legs, the muscle tissue was still surprisingly intact. The problem? The nervous system had stopped talking to the muscles. It wasn't a hardware issue. It was software failure. Pretty wild, right? And here's another mind-blower. When researchers reintroduced the right nutrients, especially amino acids like leucine, and timed meals around the body's repair cycle, yes, that means at night, the signal began to return. The musicians started playing again. Cue applause. So no, you don't need to become the Rock overnight. You just need to reboot your nervous system like restarting a frozen laptop. Tap the right keys, in this case, feed it the right foods at the right time, and the whole thing powers back on. Pause with me here. If you're over 60 and you're still active, that's incredible. You've already got momentum. But even if you're not, even if you feel like you're losing strength, this doesn't have to be the end of the story. Your muscles are waiting. You just need to pick up the phone again. Anyone here ever ignored a call from their grandkid and immediately regretted it? Yeah, this is kind of like that. Time to reconnect. And trust me, your legs will thank you in the morning. Alright, ready to dive deeper? Because next up, we'll talk about the exact biological switch that flips everything back on. And no, it's not some overpriced supplement from a late-night infomercial. Let's keep going. Let me tell you about Mr. Allen. He's 78, retired firefighter, tough guy, the kind of man who used to climb 3 flights of stairs with a hose on his back. But last year, he fell. Then he fell again, and again, 4 falls in 6 months. His daughter told him, "Dad, you need to start using a walker." And you know what he said? "I'd rather wrestle a bear." Classic Alan. But deep down, he was scared. Not of falling, but of becoming dependent. Of losing that fireman pride. What he didn't realize was, his legs weren't failing because of age. They were failing because the connection between his nerves and muscles had gone silent. Then, small change. His son, who's a nutritionist, fancy, told him to try something simple. 1 serving of Greek yogurt before bed. That's it. Every night. Not some magic shake or $200 pills. Just yogurt. 2 weeks later, Alan stood up from his recliner without using his hands. "Felt like I was cheating," he laughed. It's not a miracle. It's biology, waking up that neuromuscular system with the right fuel, at the right time. Now let's talk about Mrs. Harris. She's 84, former schoolteacher, taught English for 42 years, and still corrects people when they say less instead of fewer. Don't even try arguing with her. I've seen grown men cry, but behind her sharp wit, her body was slowing down. She started avoiding steps, then long walks, then the grocery store. When she did walk, her knees wobbled, and her legs felt like rubber bands, stretched and done. Her grandson, a med student, watched one night as she struggled to stand from her favorite armchair. He didn't say anything right away, just handed her a boiled egg and a little scoop of yogurt. "Grandma," he said, "do this for a week." She rolled her eyes, muttered something about kids and their fads, but agreed. 6 days later, she texted him. Yes, she texts with punctuation. "I just walked to the mailbox without holding the railing. Call me Wonder Woman." True story. Now, if you're watching this thinking, that sounds nice, but it won't work for me, let me tell you, Mrs. Harris was you. Same doubts, same stiffness, same couch. The only thing she changed? She stopped assuming weakness was forever. You know who else refused to accept decline? Queen Elizabeth. Yep, at 96, she still rode horses. Not because she was trying to be on TikTok, but because she moved every day and listened to her body. And I bet she ate smart, too. Probably no late-night potato chips in Buckingham Palace. You don't have to ride horses at 96. But what if you could stand up easier? Walk without grabbing the counter? What if you felt even 20% stronger by next week? That's not some fantasy. That's you, with a little help from science, a fork, and your fridge. So let me ask, which story hit home more? Mr. Allen the fireman? Or Mrs. Harris the grammar queen? Drop a comment below. I love hearing your own stories, especially the ones where you proved someone, or even yourself, wrong. Now let's keep going. You've seen how a simple nighttime habit changed real lives. Up next, we'll break down exactly why it works, starting with the little amino acid that makes a big, muscle-building splash. Let's roll. Okay, friend, now we get to the juicy part, the science. But don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with textbook talk. Think of this as the behind-the-scenes tour of your body's comeback machine. Let's crack it open together. First stop, leucine. It's an amino acid, kind of like a Lego block for your muscles. But this block is special. While other amino acids help build muscle, leucine is the boss, the foreman, the one who shows up on the construction site, blows the whistle and says, "All right, people, let's build some muscle." Without leucine, your body just shrugs. Maybe tomorrow. But give it enough leucine, especially before bed, and boom, the gears turn. That's because leucine activates a critical process called muscle protein synthesis. Basically, it flips the switch for muscle repair. It tells your body, time to get to work. Now here's the cool part. This switch is controlled by something called mTOR. Sounds like a robot, right? Welcome. I am mTOR. Initiate muscle growth. But seriously, mTOR, short for mechanistic target of rapamycin, is the master controller. It decides whether your body builds muscle, stores fat, or takes a nap. Want your legs to feel strong again? You need to flip on mTOR. And leucine is the key that does it. Next stop, mitochondria. These guys are like the tiny batteries inside your muscle cells. Remember the Energizer Bunny? That's your mitochondria when they're working right. But when you age, those little batteries run low. They don't recharge as well. So your muscles don't get the energy they need to stay firm, flexible, or responsive. You try to stand up from the couch, and instead of a smooth lift, it's more like creak, grunt, wobble. Enter leucine again. Not only does it trigger muscle building, but it also helps improve mitochondrial function. Better batteries, more energy, stronger legs. Alright, now let's talk circadian rhythm, your body's internal clock. It's not just about sleep. It also controls when your body heals, repairs, and rebuilds. Here's the secret. Between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., your body goes into deep repair mode. That's when your growth hormone spikes. That's when mTOR is most ready to fire. But only if, and this is a big if, your body has the raw materials it needs. So if you go to bed on an empty stomach or after eating chips and soda, yeah, I see you. You missed that window. Your body wanted to repair, but it couldn't. That's why having something like Greek yogurt, eggs, or casein protein before bed makes such a huge difference. It's like giving your body the toolbox right when it needs to do the job. And finally, the neuromuscular junction. Fancy term, simple meaning. It's the meeting point where your nerve and muscle shake hands. Literally, it's the connection where your brain says, "Hey muscle, move," and your muscle replies, "Got it, boss." With age, that handshake gets weak. The signal gets fuzzy. You want to lift your leg, but the message gets lost in translation. Here's the good news. Certain nutrients, like leucine, vitamin D, magnesium, B vitamins, can strengthen that connection, like a better Wi-Fi signal between your brain and your body. Suddenly, movements feel smoother, less shaky, more confident. You still with me? I know it's a lot of biology, but your body is worth understanding. You're not falling apart. You just need to feed the system and flip the right switches. Now let's keep this ride going. Coming up next, we'll get super practical. Exactly what to eat, when to eat it, and what to avoid after 8 p.m. so your body can do its magic overnight. Let's make your fridge your medicine cabinet. Ready? Let's go. Alright, now let's get down to business. You've heard the science. You've seen the stories. Now let's talk about what you can actually do tonight, yes, tonight, to start rebuilding strength. And don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to join CrossFit or eat kale smoothies forever. This is doable. Even if you've got grandkids stealing your energy and a cat that wakes you up at 3 a.m. Let's break it into simple steps. Step 1. When to eat. Timing matters more than you think. Your body does its best repair work between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. That's prime time for your growth hormone to come out and do its thing. But only if you give it fuel before showtime. So, your goal? Eat your evening recovery snack about 60 to 90 minutes before bed. If you sleep at 10, snack around 8:30 to 9 p.m. Earlier than that? Too soon. Later, your stomach might be working overtime while you're trying to sleep. And no one wants indigestion at midnight, not even Warren Buffett. Step 2. What to eat. Now for the good stuff. You don't need to raid a health food store or spend $50 on powders. Stick with simple, whole foods that are rich in leucine and easy to digest. Plain Greek yogurt, full fat, unsweetened. 150 to 200 grams gives you 2.4 to 2.8 grams of leucine. Slow digesting casein protein fuels your muscles through the night. It's like leaving a night light on for your legs. Add some blueberries or chopped almonds for extra fiber and magnesium. Just don't dump in honey like you're Winnie the Pooh. 2 boiled eggs. Each egg packs high-quality protein, healthy fat, and something called choline, which helps your brain talk to your muscles. Pair it with a slice of avocado or whole grain toast for bonus points. No frying in oil. This isn't a diner. It's muscle rehab. Casein protein shake, optional. 1 scoop equals 2.53 g of leucine. Mix with water or unsweetened almond milk. Perfect if you're dairy-free or just want something quick. Step 3. What to avoid after 8 p.m. Now let's talk about the troublemakers. Sugary snacks, sorry, no cookies. They spike insulin and crash your sleep cycle. Heavy red meat, beef stew before bed? Save it for lunch. It digests slower than Monday morning traffic. Fried foods and processed oils. These stir up inflammation and mess with mTOR. Remember our little muscle-building robot. Caffeine, no coffee, no black tea. And yes, that includes dark chocolate. I know, but your sleep matters more than your sweet tooth. Step 4. Smart supplements. Optional, but golden. Want to supercharge the routine? Add a few science-backed extras. Magnesium calms your muscles and helps with deep sleep. You'll find it in almonds, pumpkin seeds, or a low-dose supplement. Vitamin D3 supports bone strength and boosts mTOR, especially useful if you spend most days indoors. B-complex, B6 plus B12, helps rebuild the nerve coating, myelin, that delivers movement signals. Choline improves communication between brain and muscle, found in egg yolks or as a supplement. And no, you don't need a pharmacy in your kitchen. These are just bonus tools, like adding rocket fuel to a car that already runs well. Step 5. Stick to it for 3 to 7 nights. Here's the deal, this isn't a magic trick. You can't do it once and expect to leap out of bed like Tom Cruise on a movie set. But in studies, seniors who followed this routine for just 1 week saw 10 to 15% gains in strength. They got up faster, walked steadier, fewer nighttime cramps, less stiffness in the morning. Small changes, big wins. So, what's in your fridge right now? Are we working with yogurt, eggs, or do we need a grocery run tomorrow? Let me know in the comments. And if you have a favorite snack that works, drop it below. Someone else might just discover their new go-to. Next up, we'll talk about what really changes when this routine becomes a habit, not just physically but emotionally. Let's keep the momentum going. So, let's take a moment. Tonight, you're going to eat something small. Maybe a cup of plain Greek yogurt. Maybe 2 boiled eggs. You'll do it about 90 minutes before bed. Then you'll sleep. And tomorrow, when your feet hit the floor, stop. Notice how your legs feel. Are they steadier? Did you stand up a little smoother? A little faster? That's your body waking up. Not because of magic. Not because of luck. But because you gave it what it's been waiting for all along, the right fuel at the right time. And the best part? This isn't a one-time thing. If you stick with it night after night, your strength doesn't just return. It grows. You're not too old. You're not too far gone. You're just a few steps away from feeling like you again. Now, I want to hear from you. Try it tonight. And tomorrow, come back and tell me what changed. Did you feel stronger? More balanced? Did your legs surprise you? Leave a comment and use the phrase "it worked for me" so I know you made it all the way to the end. If this video helped you, it might help someone else you love. Share it with a friend, parent, a neighbor who needs hope, just like you did. And don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to Healthy Aging Life. Because we're building something here. A community of strong, vibrant seniors who refuse to give up. This is your time. Your body's ready. Are you?